Time to have a conversation with Drew Blazsik, faith in finance, trying to make some sense out of this crazy, crazy economic world of ours. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning. How are you guys this morning?
Doing fabulously well. How about you?
Pretty good. I woke up this morning and I forgot to do something. I forgot to email someone back, and it was one of those things that really woke me up. It's like taking a shower. It's like, oh. So I looked back at the email and he said I had to respond by later today. So I was like, oh man.
You lost sleep.
I don't know why. I just it's one of those things. Kind of it hit me this morning when I woke up.
That's about a week ahead of me, honestly.
A week ahead. I thought I was a couple of days late on something, but I was kind of thankful for that. But yeah, so some crazy stuff is the economy is definitely kind of going with the price of gold and silver. Like we talked about before, silver is like that water. You have a pressure relief valve. It's because there's something going on in the system and you have to relieve it. And silver, that's the signal for that pressure in the economy. There's no reason for it to jump up these prices other than people that don't have the confidence in the U.S. dollar. You see the dollar going down. And I got an interesting stat, and I don't have it on me right here, but I heard about this, is that, and we talked about before, I think it's a big issue, is that we were gifted with the reserve currency, having the U.S. dollar, and they did that through the petrodollar. They did that through when we took it off the gold standard after World War II. Well, we were gifted with this valuable thing that gives it value. But the problem is we use it on sovereign nations we disagree with. Now you can think politically you should do that, but we used it as a weapon. And that's a big problem, because if you use the dollar as a weapon and you want them to use the dollar, right, to give it value, you're telling them, if you use it, we're going to hurt you with it.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine like you hand someone a knife and they have to grab it without the handle. They're not going to do it after a while. And here's a good teller is Russia, which is a big-time country, and we used it under the Biden administration, and it continued in the Trump administration, that they were using, I think, 80 to 90% of their transactions were through the dollar when we talked about oil and all this international trade. I believe they're down to 18%, and they're estimating it could be down to 10%. They decided they don't want to use it, and it's losing value because of that. So my word, if you're going to run for politics, don't use the dollar, which is a very powerful tool for the U.S., against another sovereign nation, because this is what's going to happen, and you can see we're losing value. And if more nations do it, we're going to be in trouble. And I'm not saying this is going to be right away. This could be decades down the line. But we need it's such a powerful tool. England had it with the British pound. They lost it. We are gifted with the dollar, having the world currency, reserve currency. Hopefully we don't blow that either.
Yeah, look, and you say the price of silver is up. If we go to March of 2020, the price of silver is at $12, $12 an ounce. Here's where we're at right now on silver. Yesterday is $114. Today it's like 101, 102. Now that was a very, very low point in March of 2020. It got back up to around $20 an ounce. But even from $20 an ounce to over $100 an ounce in 6 years. It's crazy.
I haven't checked gold. I believe gold is over $5,000.
Over $5,000 an ounce.
5,000. I mean, I'm kicking myself. I don't have a bunch of gold bars at
right.
the house. Hey, I don't have any gold at the house.
Yeah,
just want to let everyone know that.
Nor do I, by the way.
No gold. And but yeah. So
But it does. To your point, it points to something underneath all this that's churning that is not good.
No, that's definitely a signal to us that there is something underlying in the economy that's not sound, and it goes back to the dollar, and it goes back to our trade deficit. I haven't checked in the last couple of weeks. It goes up so quick, but less than we got to be at 39 trillion, and people don't see that the compound interest when we talk about this kind of debt, and especially with higher interest rates, it's going to skyrocket to 56. It's going to go so quick we won't even see it. And then here's the thing that's going to happen is that the wages have to keep up. Like, makes sense. Prices go up. But if you're in an industry that can't do that people don't make sense, when inflation hits, you have to decide what you want to purchase. Well, those industries that you purchase first, they're gonna have the ability to pay the wages. But if you're in an industry, let's say for me, like education, my wages might not keep up. And if my wages don't keep up, you're going to look like the nominal wage. Oh, I'm making a lot more money than I did 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not going to have it because prices are so high, and you're going to feel a lot more poor. And that's just the bummer of our system, that they're constantly doing that to our previous work, what you did in the past, what you did, and they're devaluing the dollar, and they're taking it. And what it is, it's a tax.
Right.
And I want you to think about what that means globally. If you have since we inflate our currency, you're literally taxing other countries. So if it inflates 3 to 4% a year, you're taxing Russia, China, all these countries. But if you use it as a weapon and they don't use your currency anymore, that means you don't get to tax them anymore. And now it's even taxing us even more because prices will go up even quicker. Right. So I don't think people see that. I remember Biden said that we're going to go after when the whole thing with Ukraine and Russia happened. I don't know if he said it. I don't think he really knew what was going on, but he said it's gonna cause some issues with prices because Americans are paying for it. And same thing with war. Like with the Iraq war, back in the day, they used to tax people to go to war. Right. Now they inflate tax where you don't even see it happening, but we paid for all that in the past. And if you wake up to that, I don't think a lot of people would say, you know what? Here's $50,000. Let's go to another war. No one would do that per citizen, but we just don't see it happening, and they slowly just drain it and they take it from us, unfortunately.
Wow. Yeah, that's the stuff that you don't really see and you don't think about. So I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah,
there's a lot happening underneath there that drives everything.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So we got started on this topic, but I had a whole bunch of stuff about. There's an epidemic. We could talk about it next week. There's an epidemic in our country, which is gambling. And
oh my gosh.
I have all the data here, information about it. We could talk about it, but gambling, and if you're a parent, you have to see. And I'm a college professor, so I see it every day. I would say, especially men, are college age kids, especially people who are involved in sports. It's almost about 90% of them are all gambling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And 90%. That was always considered a vice. And it always was difficult because you had to go to Vegas, you had to go somewhere. There's friction for you to do it. And that's all vices. You have to have some friction to do it because then you minimize the vice. And with this gambling thing, there is no friction. It's instant on our phone. And it's causing bankruptcies, skyrocketed, alcoholism's going up, addiction's going up of all sort. And it's a real epidemic that's going on.
And if you question the addiction side of it, just look at how drugs have been handled in this country. The drug dealer gives you a little something for free or gives it to you very discounted, and then, bam, you're stuck. You know, you're addicted. He's going to have you for life. They're doing the same thing with gambling. You get $5, you pay $5, you get $200 in bets, you know, and then they have you for the rest of your life or until you have no money left.
You know what percent of people actually make money in gambling? If you had to guess, what percentage that actually make money, what would you say?
3%.
3%. That's what it was.
Really?
Is it 3%?
3%.
Yeah.
3% of people that gamble make money. And DraftKings, what's the other one? FanDuel. They target people and they start throwing free stuff at them because they understand the ones who will gamble more.
Yeah.
And it's very sad what's going on. We'll talk about that next week. I got a bunch of stuff on it, and it's really dangerous for our young people. They're getting addicted to it.
Yeah, so make sure you're here next week, and Drew Blazsik will be here. You can bet on that.
Oh, Ron!
Snap.
Don't do that. That's bad.
Have a wonderful
That's a fair
weekend.
bet. Yeah.